Hello and welcome to Atlanta Brick Go TV. I'm Mark, and today I'm joined by Steven. Get griefed!
How's it going?
And today we're talking about Steven's Tank Battles army.
Mm-hmm.
And let's first of all start with you in tank battles. Your experience with it, Steven. Steven, you've been a part of the store for a long time. You took a little break, kind of like Alex did, for a couple years, and came back to us at Atlanta Brick Co. But you were there for the first tank battles matches. What was that like, Steven?
Really fun. It was fun. There weren't any minifigures. We just had flags. There were no towers, just some obstacles, and just like one tank each. And we would just try and drive around the table and
Very
fire.
tank focused.
It was so basic, so simple, but it was super fun and it had a lot of potential. And I think it started as a birthday thing or a camp. I don't remember. We're talking 8 years ago. But I was there at the beginning and it was really fun.
Awesome. Yep. And your early tank battles games weren't very figure focused, but now I'd say you have one of the biggest armies in tank battles history.
Yeah, they're big.
What inspired this army? What was the driving force behind it? Has it evolved over the years?
Yeah, it certainly has. I don't remember the first iteration, but I think dark tan was a fun thing. I think.
Was it white and dark red?
So my tanks originally were white. This one, the Instigator was white with dark red. This one was white with dark blue, and I had a dark orange one with white. And I think I added the dark tan minifigures right as I changed the colors of the tanks. So I think that was right around the time we started using minifigures.
Yeah.
And they're based on Star Wars figures, particularly the Resistance Trooper. There's a dark tan helmet with a cool jaw piece.
Visor.
It kind of has a Halo vibe to it. It looks like a Halo Trooper. And they're super affordable. And I bought a bunch of them. And I kind of updated them with Brick Forge, Brick Warriors, Brick Arms, and they just snowballed like crazy, and other purist Lego elements. So yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah, a great tank battles army for sure. So, you've had a chance to field test these tanks over the years. What are some of the things that work best about them? What are some of the things that don't work about them? What are your favorite elements here? What mechanisms are happening here? I know you're pretty famous first of all, being a good player, but secondly, having some very complicated and efficient tanks. So describe some of the things happening.
I like to tinker. I like to experiment. I like to just try new stuff. So there's a couple things going on here. We'll start with this one here. This one kind of looks like the Batman tumbler. It's got movable legs, so you can actually adjust it up and down. So I can have him lean around an obstacle if I want to.
It's got joint pieces.
Yeah, it's got joint pieces, which are all part of the rules. The mechanism is a simple gearbox. It's I don't know what its usual application is for.
It's a gearbox.
But yeah, it's just a basic gearbox with a tank attached to it, a tank cannon. It's a little wobbly though. I don't like it as much. It's not quite as fluid stable. Yeah, I don't like the wobbly ones as much. Moving on to another tank. This mecha is really cool. I love the design. I love it to death. Problem is, it's very, very short. I have a big old head, so it's hard for me to get low enough to actually aim this thing correctly. Gotcha. So height was important. So with this one, the Cyclone, it has a scissor lift mechanism that makes it a little higher. Back then we had stricter rules of the height, and we've loosened those up over the years, and I've kept my tanks as they are. But this one has an adjustable platform with 2 guns, and 2 guns is really popular now, side by side.
Yep.
So if you miss a shot, you can realign and fire a real one, fire a more accurate one, like real artillery.
Exactly.
Last one is the Instigator. It's a class 1 with 1 gun, and it's my favorite one. It has a very buttery smooth, but also very stiff,
stable
pneumatic system. Here's the part we use. I don't think it usually comes with a spring. It's a similar piece to this, and it's very, very fluid. It's very stable. I think it's used for Lego City construction.
Yeah.
So
or in Star Wars sets too.
I think it's also used in Star Wars sets too. So yeah, very, very nice, flowy, easy to use, user-friendly system. Gears are fun, but I like the hydraulic ones, or if they're the pneumatic ones. Yeah, I like the pneumatic setup. I really like it.
Some very advanced techniques happening here. It's cool to see that in all your tanks, and kind of other people have mentioned that they want 2 lined up next to each other, or they want the pneumatics, the
or
gears,
a gearbox,
some
or
extra
something.
features. So you've raised the bar of tanks. It's pretty cool.
I tried to pioneer some stuff, and this has the best of both with a class 2 and a pneumatic. Although this one is used by Alex quite a bit, and it matches his color scheme. He's been borrowing this one for most of the match.
And this was actually made as a gift for me originally. Isn't that right?
You used this tank for quite some time. Yeah, it's
in dark blue.
In dark blue. It started as dark blue, and then you moved on to other designs. I'm like, well, I'll just hold on to this one for a bit. So I changed the color to match some of my red troopers, which are newer, much newer. These are brand new, basically from the First Order Jet Trooper in red. Sith Trooper, Jet Trooper, one of those. He's really cool, also very affordable, worked great with the red tank.
Nice. Yeah, and a little bit of a Star Wars flair as far as the core figure elements.
And some future army.
You talked about how the Instigator is your favorite tank.
Definitely.
But do you have any favorite figures that you want to point out? Any heroes? Because there were several in the last couple armies.
Well, I spread out the designs quite a bit. There's one I want to highlight, though. Where did he go? Here we go. So this is a fun one. This guy is kind of like the unofficial main character of the army. He looks like most of the other guys because they got matching uniforms and stuff like that, but he's got some discontinued brick forge on him and some Eclipse graphics, leg assembly, and stuff like that. And one of my favorite headpieces from Galaxy Squad. So he kind of looks like the rest of his guys. He doesn't have any more flamboyant feathers or whatever off of him or some crazy backstory.
Got a pistol.
He's got I actually have an airsoft gun very similar to that. So I've got it's a P90, which is super fun. It's all airsoft. Of course. But yeah, there's a few other really cool ones. You'll probably get him in the B-reel, but he's probably the main character. So.
Gotcha. Great looking troopers for sure. Let's see. So, going into tank battles, having evolved throughout different iterations, different rule sets, what is your strategy, kind of general, high-level concepts when you go into a match? And not to spoil anything, because I will be facing you on the battlefield eventually, and if people will watch this...
I'm sure Chris will be watching this, hoping to get some info.
What's some general things, like some non-spoilers for what your goals are when you're fighting? Are you trying to shoot for tanks first? Are you trying to, charge in there, trying to hold back a little bit? What are some of the things you can advise people?
There's a couple different things. I'll give you this fun strategy bit. When we did elimination, sorry, no, not eliminations. We did points. We do revives. So if your tank gets shot down, it goes back to the start. So it's essentially like a constant cycle. Who gets the best shots is the winner. We do those a lot. So I prefer class 1 tanks for that. Now, we don't do a lot of revives these days unless you give us a power-up in the comments. But class 1s were faster, and if I shot Chris's, for example, Chris, if I shot Chris's class 2 tank, I would get 6 points. But if he shot my tank, he would only get 3.
Yeah.
But my tank was faster, so I could get to him quicker. So
a little bit lighter.
It was lighter. It could move further distances per turn, and I had to be really good. I'd have to outshoot him. I don't get a grace second shot like most class 2s. But I would get faster to my target, and I would have a better shot, and I would be less valuable. So class 1s were dominating for a little bit until we started doing more elimination challenges, which kind of evened the playing field a little bit. So.
Yeah. So a good strategy to use a class 1 versus class 2, considering where the cannons and points and how many shots you get.
Get there faster and be less valuable. That's the thing.
So a lightweight approach, more quantity versus quality in a way.
Get there fast, try and get a good shot, and know that you're not going to be as valuable. So.
Interesting strategy, Steve.
Yeah, little things like that. Well, and that's why most of my tanks are class 1s.
Exactly. Well, you've had a big victory against the Joy of Destruction not too long ago. You and your teammate Alex with the Galactic Griefers.
GG.
Exactly. So you've already won 1 game in the regular season. You have 2 more plus the elimination finals. What are your predictions moving forward after this pretty close match? Do you think you're going to go all the way? Do you think you're going to have a couple tough battles ahead? What are your predictions?
We've got a lot of good momentum. It's nice to be... I don't know how the roster actually works, but it's nice to be having the first win. Yeah. We're not resting on our laurels.
1 out of 3 already won.
So. Exactly. Chris doesn't usually lose. Okay, we've had a lot of matches, and he has much better winning record than not. And Garrett is no slouch either. He had some great shots too. I'm really glad about my teammate though. Let's talk about Alex for a second. He definitely, I think he got the highest score out of last round. Just a guess. And he carried and he did a spectacular job. A lot of credit for Alex. As far as predictions, I'd like to get to the last one. Maybe we can. We got a lot of good momentum, but we're not surprised. We're not getting cocky. We're not going to get complacent or overconfident. We're going to just keep to the plan and see what we can do.
Try your best every single time.
Exactly.
Right? There you go. Well, great to talk to you about your tanks and your army, Stephen. Good luck in the next few matches.
You too.
And we will see if you make it. Well, everyone's getting to the finale. Finals in elimination.
In some way.
Whether you survive the final match remains to be seen.
Exactly.
All right. Take care, Stephen. Yep. Thank you for sharing tanks, and thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because basically every other Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have tank battles live streaming here on the channel, so make sure you catch that.
Yep. Get griefed.
Take care, everyone.